Okay, so if we can, a little background about you, for those that don't know about you, how you got into this business and how you met up with Vivid, how it all started for you.
I got into this business about a year ago, and no, it's been a little over a year now, and I was actually dancing for about 3 days up in Oregon, and some guy gave me his card, and I looked at the back of the card, called all the numbers, checked him out first, and I had to talk to my family members before I even thought about doing it. So had a few conversations with the family members. They were like, well, you're always going to do what you want to do anyway, so whatever your decision is. And then I was on the next plane to California and started working. I was doing a lot of magazine work, mostly at first, and then I got into the videos, and then slowly worked my way around, and finally about a year, no, it's probably, yeah, it was a year, the first time I ever worked for Vivid, and then there was a large period of time where I just didn't work at all, and then I came up here and talked to our boss, Steven, and asked him if I had anything special, and I guess he thought I had something special, so he decided to sign me, and so since then I've been working for Vivid.
You talk about that. What's special? Obviously, you're beautiful. What is it about special that you have? Because a lot of girls do this for years, smaller things, and you're with Vivid, the biggest company there is. How'd that happen for you?
I don't know. I just, I was rephrasing a little. I get the little special thing. I got that off of one of the videos that Brian Groves gave me to check out. The interview tapes to see how all the other girls do, and I was actually watching him, and he's like, well, our girls, when I see the girls, they have maybe a special quality about them that, that's the reason why he signs us, and that's where I got that little special thing from. But I don't know, I don't think I'm too special, but I don't know, I got dark hair, green eyes, something a little different than the average blonde, big busted porn stars, I guess. I don't know. A little something different than what he already has.
Sure.
Yeah.
How excited or how nervous were you when you started working for Vivid? What was the experience like for you?
You know what? I wasn't really that nervous, but since I've started, I realized that there's so many other girls in the business that just that's what they work for, and if they could have a contract, that's what they would do, and and they're I have so many friends that are just well, I've worked all this time, and that's what I would want is a contract, and I didn't really get the whole thing when I came up here. I just came up here because I figured, okay, well, I'll sign the contract, make my work easier, which means I don't have to work all the time, and get paid probably a little bit more, and but I don't know, it's a little weird how I guess everybody wants to be a Vivid girl,
Is there
all the girls outside looking in, they just want to be a Vivid girl. So I don't think there's anything too special about us.
Well, a lot of it's what Vivid can bring you in terms of other kinds of things, and magazines and movies and this video.
The promotion, the way they can push you out into doing other things like mainstream work, and just they promote their girls a lot better than any other company, I would have to say, and they work harder, I would have to say, to just make sure we're happy, and I know they work really hard to make sure we're happy, because there's a lot of girls that are probably pretty hard to deal with on a daily basis, so they just want to make sure we show up to work on time.
How important was doing mainstream stuff for you when you started this, knowing this would lead to that? How much of that did you think about?
I really didn't think about any of that at all. I didn't, I just kind of go with the flow. I don't worry about anything. I don't really see any reason to worry about a lot of stuff. If something good happens, then that's great. And I'm not one to gloat, and I'm not one to go around and say, "Oh my gosh, I just did." It's not me. I'm pretty mellow about everything. I don't look for things. I don't push myself, and I do push myself to a certain extent. I will do my best, as good as I can, and I won't stop until it's good enough. But I don't complain, and I don't have to go around and, I don't know. The whole porn thing is just so stereotyped, though, because I was watching this thing on MTV last night, and they had this whole thing on porn people, and I was watching it last night, and I just got a little aggravated because everybody on there was like talking about, oh, how I'm an ex-heroin junkie and how I used to do a lot of speed and stuff like that. I would have to say I'm not in any of those categories. I'm fairly normal.
How normal are you? What is it about you? What's your background?
How normal am I? I grew up in Colorado, and I had, the perfect childhood. I got everything I wanted. Was taken care of so well that I'm just really free spirited. I was never told no. I couldn't do that, couldn't do this, they said go ahead, do whatever you want. Just make sure that you don't go deep into drugs, and you don't go bearing off in situations where we have to dig you out. And in the past 3 years, I have not been in a situation like that, and I've been on my own, and I haven't had to crawl back once. And I don't know. I never got sucked into the drugs. I have so many other things I have to worry about, like, my body and, just my mental state, how well I'm doing. And I just make sure that, I go home, I exercise, I play with my cat, I watch TV. That is what I do. Mm-hmm. That is what I do on a regular basis. I sit on my couch, watch TV, play with my cat. By the way, I just have to tell you, my cat can fetch like a dog. Yes, like a dog. No, and I don't know, I'm pretty normal. But like when I saw that last night, I was just like, is that how everybody perceives porn people to be? As like drug addicts, and they have all these problems, and that's why we get into the porn business, and that's why we do what we do, is because we were just totally wronged as a child. And I don't think I fall into that category. And I know probably a handful of people that had pretty normal lives until they got into the business, and now they're all like, they just have this really eccentric job, but they're still normal people, and they don't go out and party, and they don't do everything that is perceived as a porn person would do. So
whatever you're doing, you're doing it right.
I'm trying. I'm putting forth some effort to do things right around here.
Talk about some of the doors it's opening for you, specifically this video. How did this start? Where did this come from? How did it all happen for you?
You know what? It's so funny. Brian sent us up there, and he sent me up there, and I'm sure he sent a couple of the other girls up there. And I walked in there, and they're like, well, look sad. And I'm like, I'm so goofy. I'm just like, whatever. And just kind of like gave him a funny face, jumped around, did my little bob thing, or I call it a bob thing.
What'd you do?
It's just like being goofy, being like a guy Bob, like. So just bouncing around, just being all happy, and not really caring. Didn't even really know what I kind of knew, but I didn't really know what I was doing up there. Okay, I'm trying out for something. Oh, okay, I'm trying out. And then I went home, and my roommate's like, so you think they'll call you? And I'm like, oh, probably not. And I wouldn't really think they would. I didn't even. I just assumed, well, okay, whatever happens, happens. I went up there. I tried. So, and then I went on a trip, and, like, my roommate calls me, and he's like, okay, I gotta tell you, Brian just called, and it's down to 2 girls. And I'm like, whoa, really? How cool. Who are the 2 girls? Well, one's you and another girl. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And I kind of left it at that. And then when they kept proceeding on, oh, well, we need to see you again, I was like, are you serious? And then I went back, and I talked to them, and they were like, okay, well, we just need to know you can be serious. And I'm like, I can be serious. And then after that, after my last conversation with them, like an hour and a half later, they called and said, okay, well, you're going to do it. And it just happened.
What did that feel like? What kind of things went through your head then when you got it? I
was like, hey, that's really cool. I couldn't believe I got it. Well, it definitely didn't expect it. And I think, I don't know, I'm happy it happened, but, that is just really cool chance, a pretty good opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that happens to everybody every day, but...
No, a lot of people that get into adult stuff find it difficult to be able to do that kind of thing, and you're doing it all so quickly.
Well, I just figured, well, I'm not going to... I know everybody gets, the whole, well, I just got in this conversation with somebody the other day, like, well, you're in porno, and you can't really do mainstream, and I'm like, well, who says? Who says? Is there, like, a law against it? Didn't think there was, and I'm almost positive there isn't, but I think just a lot of people have a harder time accepting us into their mainstream world.
So is it all attitude and your positive attitude and your drive knowing that you can do whatever you want to do that making this stuff work for you?
I think so. You know what it is I really don't care what everybody thinks. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to put forth the effort, and whether or not somebody thinks they want that or not, then that's up to them, but it's all a matter of whether you got it or you don't. And I guess in that situation I had what they were looking for. And I'm not saying that made me better than anybody else, and I'm definitely not better than anybody else, and good things happen. I'm happy. I think that's one of the greatest things that's probably happened to me so far.
Mm-hmm. Talk about the experience of actually doing it, what that experience is like.
The experience doing it, well, it's like stressful, but it's like, hey, this is cool. I'm actually gonna go make out with Enrique. all the girls up there were like so excited for me. Like everybody working on the production, they're like, "You're so lucky! Oh my gosh!" And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. I'm like, you guys are more excited than I am. I'm like, I'm kind of scared, to go in there and be in front of the camera and like, everybody's looking at me in a different perspective now. And I'm like, whoa. But I think it's cool.
Talk about what you actually do, since I haven't seen the video, what you actually do with Enrique in the video and how the video works.
Well, the song's called Sad Eyes, and it's, he actually, I guess, it kind of goes along this little storyline right here. Let me break it down to you. Okay. I guess he's singing a song, and then he goes, I guess it's something about her sad eyes, and he falls in love with this girl who he sees everywhere, like on a billboard, in a magazine, on his TV, and just about everywhere you think. He sees this girl, he just sees her eyes, and he sees her crying, and she looks very sad, and then I walk up to the car, and I greet him, and he's like, ooh. I hop in the car with him, we have like 4 like really erotic scenes, which or a couple. One in the bathtub, which is like freezing cold, and one in the bedroom. And I just have to say, David did a really great job on this video.
David LaChapelle.
Yeah, I was amazed. I really couldn't get it at first. Like I didn't get what he was getting at, and I was like, okay, I don't, this, it's all choppy. It seems to me it's all choppy, and then when you put it together, it was just like, wow. Like, at the end, you're going, now it all makes sense. And I just have to, it just looks really beautiful, and he just really, I don't know what word I'm looking for to describe the video. It's hot, but it's hot, but it's sad, it makes you feel something.
How proud are you now of the video, what you did with that?
Oh, well, I think it looks great. I've actually seen parts of it, and I think everything turned out really good. And I like the way he put it together, because you know how you shoot things like, okay, we're shooting this part first, and then we're going to shoot the last part second, and then it just kind of goes around, and I didn't see how everything was going to put together. And when I saw it all together, I was just like, wow, this is definitely not what I thought it was going to be, but it's really great, and it looks phenomenal. And I was in front of a bunch of people watching it, and they were just like, oh, look at his back. Oh. And yeah, seriously, it's a hot video. It's a really hot video.
Now, how close did you actually get with Enrique? What was the shoot like, working so closely with him?
It was interesting. He's a really nice guy. He's not like cocky and arrogant like you would think somebody in his place would be, and he was. I was like really surprised at like he wanted to meet me, and he's all, hi, how are you? And he just, he's inquisitive. He's just like, oh, I want to know what's it like. So he wanted to know what my job was like, and I wanted to know what his job was like, and we just kind of swapped information, and it was pretty cool.
What were some of the things he asked you about your job?
Do I like it? Of course I like it. And, you know, he definitely wanted to know about some of the other girls too. He's just like, well, what about Raylene? And, oh, what about, you know, he's just asking questions about the other girls and if everybody's nice. And I'm like, yeah, everybody's really nice.
So how familiar with the industry was he?
I'm not going to say he was too familiar. I don't know. He knew a few names, and I was like, hey, that's really cool, you know? He actually does know a few names, but he, you know, he's like, I don't know. I would describe him as a still big kid. You know, he's Enrique, but he's really calm, and he's like, you know, he still wants to have fun, it seems like, and he looks like he's doing pretty good.
How excited do you think he was about working with an adult film star in the video, working with you?
I don't know. I couldn't say. If I was in his position and I was working with a really hot chick and I was doing the things, I might get a little aroused or something, but I don't know. We're all different people. I don't know. I would probably act differently than he would have, and he acted, we were both very professional, and we did our job, and I said goodbye.
How comfortable was he with doing the sexy stuff? Was he as comfortable as you were? Was it harder for him to get
into? He was actually really, you know, he's all, you know, he wants it to look good, and he was putting forth a lot of effort to make it look good, and I was like, oh, he's not just, you know, laying there and just, you know, like a lump, and he's, you know, I really couldn't believe that, you know, he was actually able to feel comfortable and, you know, get involved. Which is, like, and the stuff we were doing, it was, like, pretty close stuff, so I'm just like, whoa. And he was really comfortable to work with, and he made me feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. So, which is kind of strange, I would have to say, because I was probably a little bit more uncomfortable than he was, and I couldn't understand that, because I have an interesting job, so I wasn't seeing how that fit in there.
Yeah, what kind of things were you worried about?
I just never hopped on top of Enrique Iglesias before. I've never done that before, and and because you hear about him, and everybody's like drooling all over him, and I'm just like, I feel like, you know, then they scare me, and then I'm like all, you know, like shy and timid, and I'm not normally like that at all, and then all of a sudden I'm like turned into like a little hermit crab. Okay. No, but he was like, just relax, have fun, enjoy yourself. This is what it's all about. And I was like, oh, thanks. I'll take that advice. I'm going to calm down right now.
Now, millions of people are going to be seeing this video. Talk about what that feels like now, knowing that fact that the whole world really will be watching you in this video.
You know what? I don't even know how to grasp that, you know, yet. You know, because it's not on MTV yet. It's not out there yet, so I don't know exactly how I'm going to react to that. But knowing it is, I just want to go home and, like, flip the channel and, like, be able to see it, and, you know, and I can be like, okay, well, I'm on MTV now. And it's just the same as, now I'm in the grocery store. And normally I'm not in the grocery store. I don't even want to say where I got that one from, but, no.
What do you hope this does for you, though, in terms of other videos, other acting type things? How much of that do you think about?
So I guess, you know, it's always something I could say that I have under my belt, and that I could always say I did it. But as far as, you know, everything else goes, I'm not looking to, you know, I don't want this to be the reason why somebody hires me, you know. I definitely don't want that. I want them to, you know, either they want me or they don't want me. They want me for what I do, who I am, what I look like, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Not because I did this, you know. But if it helps, it helps, you know. I'm not gonna feel bad about that if it helps, you know. Mm-hmm. Oh well.
How do you see the ideal situation with you between doing the adult stuff and doing mainstream stuff? Do you see there's something you're gonna keep doing both? How do you perceive your future?
You know what? I'll try to do both. If it works out, it works out. But if it doesn't, oh well. And that's basically how I look at everything. Well, either it works or it doesn't work, and I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna try, and because of course I'm gonna try, but if it happens, it happens, and I'm not gonna, have a big swollen head and be like, oh, well, you gotta want me. I did the Enrique video, and no, definitely not. But yeah.
How much do you see yourself as someone who's kind of breaking new ground, doing something different that a lot of girls haven't been able to accomplish? How much of that are you aware of? I don't really look at what everybody else does. I'm only worried about myself here. I gotta look out for myself. I gotta look out for my best interests, and not really concerned about what everybody else has done, because it's not if they want to tell me about it and they ask me, is this cool? Of course that's cool. But hey, I'll give you as much props as you want, but I'm not really concerned about it. I don't know. I really worry about myself a lot. What are some of the other opportunities you've had by being at Vivid? Some of the other things you've done in terms of other promotional type things or other things you've done?
A lot of the promotional. We did. I know that me and the other girls recently, probably in July, did a fashion, or like a little fashion magazine for. It's like a Japanese fashion magazine. We also, me and Vivid Chick Devin did a little spread in Flaunt magazine, and I don't really remember everything. I'm just like, I don't know, we've done a lot of stuff, but you know what? I have to say that they do push you out there, and that was probably the last thing I ever expected, because I didn't even think about it. But yeah, they do push you into the public more, and they're into, well, we're beautiful, so of course they're gonna want to push us out there, but there's only so far you can take it.
Yeah, and how much of that do you enjoy, and how much of it is?
I love it. I love everything I do. I love it, and I love going out there, and I love just the attention and everything from that is just like anything positive I like, and I think that's that falls into a positive category. So. Mm-hmm. I like that.
You're featured in Vivid Wear as well?
Yeah, I think so. I can't say, I don't know. Yeah, I believe so, yeah. Like the DVDs, or what do you mean?
T-shirts and clothing that Vivid has.
No, I would think those would be,
Vivid Gear? Vivid Gear?
I've only been signed for about 6 months,
right.
So I can't exactly say I'm on everything that has a Vivid label on it, but yeah, hopefully one day. One day.
How used to this now are you, for being at Vivid, doing this? Is it still new? Are you growing used to it? How is it?
I come out and I talk to everybody. Like, I don't know if anybody really keeps involved with, like, coming up here and talking to everybody. I like to come up here and, like, bug the heck out of everybody. And just, like, hey, what are you guys doing today? Just come in, pop in. I pop into Brian's office and, like, sneak in and just say, what are you doing? Always bug him. I'm always up at the office, like, 2 or 3 times, or no, like 2 or 3, 4 times a month. Just come up, say hi to everybody, see how everybody's doing. Just make sure everybody's satisfied.
How many movies have you made now for Vivid?
I've done 4 movies, but I've done a lot of scenes though, because I've only done 4 of my movies, and I got 4 more to do this year, and then I've knocked them all out. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Hopefully, I'm really thinking I wasn't even considering resigning. I didn't even know if that was like a whole ordeal, but since I've been with them, I've actually realized that I do want to resign, and that I do want Vivid behind me, backing me on all my promotional stuff. And I mean, with the Vivid name, I can definitely go a lot further than I would go without the Vivid name. And I've done a lot more stuff with Vivid than I have just out there on my own.
And girls that are with Vivid get fans, and they have fans, and people know who they are. Like, even Ricky knows women. Are you conscious of that people know the Cassidey name now, or are starting to learn who you are?
I don't know. I don't really know anybody that really knows me yet. So I'm just like, everybody that I've met that does know, that has seen a movie or has seen pictures and stuff, I think it's really cool. I love when they come up and they're just so excited to meet you, and they're just like, oh, I'm your biggest fan, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. How are you? I think that's great. I think it's totally great. I'm all about meeting people who love what we do and love
basically what we're not afraid to do, because we're not afraid.
What do you love the most about what you do? What would you like to tell people that you love the most that keeps it exciting and fun for you?
What do I love? I love going to work and meeting new people. And I guess every day I go to work, I pretty much meet new people. And I just like to go to work and, make people happy. And I think when I show up to work with a good attitude and I'm ready to work, I know all my lines, and I'm not there to, be miserable or anything. And I'm always free-spirited, happy. I don't really have too many problems to worry about, so I don't know. I just like to go to work and see new people. I just have to. Sorry.
Cassie, congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
That was very well done. It's a pleasure. Okay.
Put the arm around your back and, so where are you going? Anywhere you're not.
To George, security guy at Extra.
Oh yeah, you'll make George very happy.
He'll be
stoked. Yeah.
He'll flip.
He won't be able to do his job.
Oh.
He'll get fired. He's so excited he won't come to work.
Do it.
You're not running out of here, right? So.
Nope.
Sorry.
So we won't play anything. Bad. Diary of Desire. This one's out now in stores?
Yeah, and when you're done, Cassie, hand it to Adam and shake his hand like he's a big fan or something. Because he is.
I'm a fan now.
To my favorite security guide. This is all I do. I don't even usually.
Shake hands. Really?
Yeah.
Usually just saying your name?
Yeah, I just scribble.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You know, little greetings, then you've gone.
Oh, no, I've got it down, though, because I just do this.
Can you make one out to Josh in the tape room? He's also a huge fan.
That's all I do.
Really?
Yeah. Josh?
To Josh and the guys in the tape library.
Here's your favorite tape. Don't forget to log this one.
That's the problem. This will end up in the tape room, and none of our,
Yeah.
work coming into will ever get looked at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No work will get done.
There'll be dubs all over the shelf.
Where did this come from? And then straight out.
She's actually really fun.
Can I just do? I love what I do.
Yeah.
It's just like it's just really. After I watched that thing last night, I was like really disturbed.
Yeah.
I was like,
Still on, it would be something. You know what I mean?
are you serious? Is this like what everybody else in the world is saying? Is this what everybody else in the world thinks and how they view porn stars?
Right.
Because I was like, I think they needed to do a new thing on MTV, because I know those people were probably like, that story is like 3 years old at least.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an awful story.
I was like,
it's the most depressing thing, and it's like
yeah.
5%.
It makes it seem like we all come in here and we all have a problem, and I'm like, I don't have a problem. I do what I do because I like having sex. I can't. Because I'm a hoe? No.
Were you afraid it would be like the way they portrayed it before you started doing it yourself, or you did you not know what it was like?
Hand it to Adam and shake hands.
I really had no clue what it was going to be like. I definitely didn't expect anybody to view it like they did. And when I got into it, I realized that I guess there are some really fucked up people in this business, but not everybody is that fucked up.
Right.
I mean,
Okay, one more, I guess.
But there's fucked up people in every business. Like,
Yeah.
Really.
if you, I'm sure.
Good to be one of the
You're
good
not
ones.
gonna throw a mic on her for this, right?
No, we're just
No,
talking.
this is
We're just talking.
I'm sure if you interviewed.
Okay, and 3, 2, go. Go.
Go. Say hi. Nice. Am I going too fast?
Yeah. And 3, 2, go.
It was hot. It was hot. Oh yeah, it was really hot. It was smoking. What are you doing? I'm gonna wait till you get in. Hi. I'm gonna check out. Wait, where's that at? Right here. I don't know if I'm supposed to do this, but I just want to see how they were stuck on there.
Nobody's in there. What are you doing over there? I'm walking down the hallway.
You don't have to wait. You can just come straight down.
Okay.
Okay, and go ahead.
It's going a little fast, huh? Sorry.